Hi everyone, welcome to Wild Takes. My name is Desiree, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about audio ingestion of materials. So, in this episode, we're going to be exploring a little more deep um, what it is that all this audio information or pollution sometimes, um, how it affects us, what this means, and in which level, how to which extent. It's quite interesting. So let's dive in. First and foremost, I would like to start off to have some groundings. A Japanese scientific guy called Masaru Emoto. Yeah, I'm sure that's his name. This wonderful man, he played out this experiment with water. He took two different jars, same water, two different wordings. So for one yard, he decided to go with positive, high frequency words. With the second yard, he decided to go with negative, low frequency words. So this one will get praise and beautiful words and beautiful things, and this one will get insulted and scream and ugly, nasty things. So this man conducted this experiment for a little bit, and so what he did was he he took a little bit of water on each jar, and he saw the molecular level, the difference on the fragment on the pattern of the molecular level that these waters were creating. And it's just wonderful to see because you see within the depth, the extent, how profound the depth is profound of the impact that our words, audio intake has in our bodies. We are like 70% water, liquid, literally. So in this experiment that Masaru Emoto conducted, the molecules from the jar that had the beautiful, pretty, positive, high frequency words being poured into, the crystals were they had beautiful patterns. They actually had a full pattern. It had patterns, and it created different, depending on the word that it was used, it would create different patterns, but all pretty, all complete patterns and actual patterns. The one that was poured into like ugly, nasty, low frequency words, it had no patterns. It was abruptly trying to grow, malformed, like it was not completely formed. It was shapeless, some of them. So you can see where this is going. So what happens? Taking this as a reference, it's not as an example, like it happens. We already know it's a reference. We already know this happens. Taking this as a reference and knowing, keeping in mind also that our body and our fluids, sometimes before we take, it's just liquid, and you see how the liquid can be impacted by these words that we're being poured into. I'll bring back to the attention and question to everyone to what are you choosing to listen to? What is your intake? What is your audio intake? Yes, we hear this stuff or whatever, the news, music. That is your choice. I am not going to dive into the news, and we already know what's up with the news, pollution, yada yada yada. I'm not here to re-speak about things that we already know. I'm not gonna give that much attention to the narrative. It gets enough. Excuse me. So, what is your choice of content? Audio books, podcasts, like this one, your music. And mainly your music because yes, you can listen to a podcast for a little bit, you can listen to an audiobook maybe for a little bit until you're done with that book. But music is always what we go to when we need that for everything. When we're happy, we celebrate with music. When we're sad, we vent out to music. When we're angry, we listen to music. When we go to the gym, we listen to music. When we try to meditate, we listen to music. Music is universal language, and it has such an amazing impact in the person, in our mood, in our everything. So again, what is it that you are choosing consciously or subconsciously to ingest your audience. What are you programming your brain with? What are the messages that you're choosing to process? What is your daily choosing, like your daily um, playlist? What does that sound like? And which frequency keeps you in? Or which one are you choosing to be? Are you conscious or aware of this? So the reason why I call this to attention to you to do your own inner search is because as you see the reference, how can it literally does programs your body at a molecular, like a cellular level. Like this is like the microscope kind of tiny level, and this is very very deep in. And so what it is, this music that you're choosing to constantly be chanting to. First, I wonder, I would like to know, please, have you ever questioned in which frequency this music has been recorded? That'll be number one. Have you questioned that before? Is it even like a thing for you? Wonder. Wonder. Second, I will ask this artist, this singer or band, what is their message? What are they trying to say? Is there any subliminal messages in this song, and which ones? Well, they are most likely, but which ones are those? Like, is it real message? Am I connecting really with this? Do I really want to be chanting onto this? Like, if I had this song to play it in my head for like 10 times, non-stop, what would I be programming my brain to do? Or would I be programming my brain in which state of mind? Like, what is this music driving me to? How do I want to feel? And this is very important because we don't notice, but you already see, do your own research, how much of an impact words can have on water. But it doesn't just stay there. There's another lady, I don't have her name, but when I gather her information, I will put all this description because these people do have books and more than one probably. So any reference, I will have the descriptions or any information on the comments below. This lady, she's from Spain. She conducted another exercise, but she was measuring electromagnetic fields. We are electromagnetic beings. So what this lady experiment consisted of was two friends or two people, two partners, usually knowing each other. And so one person was again going to say insults to the other friend or to the other person. And the other person was not going to answer anything back or anything at all. But this one person, one subject, was going to insult or say negative things about the second subject to the second subject. They recorded electromagnetic fields of both subjects before the exercise. They proceeded with the exercise, I believe for 10 minutes or so. Nevertheless, the book says, the book will give you if you read the book, it will give you the details. Once these people come out, they will have their magnetic biofield read again. And the subject that was receiving all these messages, negative messages or bad words or insults or whatever, even though both people knew it was an experiment, and sometimes the subject that was being insulted or diminished will laugh because they both knew it was they took it as a joke. It was a fun thing to do. It wasn't just an experiment. Even if subject number two that was getting insulted laughed, when they read the electromagnetic field of these people, their field was extremely diminished. And the radiance pattern, it was not even it was spiky. It was off. So words and music, sound, doesn't just impact our physical body. It also impacts our astral body. This is very deep, and I don't hear many people talking about this stuff. So I took the opportunity to I know for sure I cannot be the first one, but I do want to call attention to this. So we as individuals in this society take a step back and see what it is that we're really listening to. What are we jamming to? What are we dancing to? Are we even dancing to this music that is being provided to us? A question I will ask myself personally before I decide to if I like this song or not. I ask myself, can I play this music in front of my 3-year-old or my 5-year-old daughter or son? Can they listen to this? Is this healthy enough for my children to be exposed to? And the reason why I say this is because sometimes parents, grown-ups, we don't realize that our music is meant for us, but the little ones don't understand. And in current times, sadly, specifically music, before we used to have beeps to censor a bad word in one song. In current times, if we will apply the same censorship, we will have to beep the whole song. It's to that extent. A lot of songs out there, a lot of artists are creating music that if you will censor the bad words or the as we used to have back then, we will have just a beat with just beep, 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 because the whole lyric will have to be beat. So what are we listening to first, us as adults? And what are we allowing our kids, our youngest, our generations, our little ones, our innocents, to listen to? What do you think the message is going to be there? What do you think that little girl, that little boy is going to think eventually of this when they grow up? Seriously though, because this is not sustainable. And it's embarrassing. Besides, among many other things, which discussed can summarize. You have to be very conscious, because a true artist should have a positive message for people, a message that inspires, a message that promotes love, life, and respect of self. You should promote self-worth and self-love. There's a fundamental principle for us as citizens to understand, and it's quite basic. Nobody, absolutely nobody, can provide of that what they don't have. As simple as it might be. So, right now I'm in a studio, I'm recording a podcast. If somebody as random asks me for, I don't know, a spoon, it's a random item. It's a simple item. It's a fairly common item. Most households have them. Maybe here, right now in the office, somebody might have a spoon. But right now, at this second, at this moment, I do not possess a spoon to provide to anybody, to somebody. So just you can have an idea. If I don't have it within me, in my heart, that's principle applies to anything, to everything. If I don't have it within me, I cannot provide it. So all these artists have such a big platform with such engineering backing them up, and yet somehow at some point something happens and the message is gone, or there's just no message, or it gets crooked or tainted. If you're not gonna do it right, don't do it. Don't be a cheap ass. You have so much money that that's about the only thing you have. Money. There's no talent. There's definitely no quality. There's no message. At least not a nice one. Because, oh shit, there's messages. Oh yes, there is. So, and this is, I'm not talking about anything recent or political or anything. This is from way back then, before this bomb, social bomb exploded in the recent times. Well, I'm not even touching about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the 90s. Like, it started late. It started like way back. This is not new. It's just like a little thing that started creeping in, and it just took over. It took over. But I will invite us to be more conscious, choosy. There's a lot of people out there. They're not on the mainstream, no. But those are artists. That's your brother, that's your sister. They have a message. There's a lot of people out there with true talent. We're not audio-tuned. Oh God. We're not audio-tuned. They can beat and run around circles of many of the so-called artists right now. Before we, in the comments, I know at some point we're gonna get into debates and this, that, and the other. And I can't wait for all that. I'm really looking forward to see what you see in the comments below. But I will share, since this is a very topic, so you can have an idea. I never, since a child, never had a favorite artist, a favorite musician. Yes, I like a band, I like an artist, I like maybe an actor, an actress, but I was never a fan. There's one guy that I can say he's my favorite artist. I don't know all his songs. I don't listen to him all the time. This man, I did enjoy it a lot when I was in my teenager years, and not for the reasons that you will think about, but his music, his message. And I just connected so much, so much with the words of this man. It's Bob Marley. My favorite artist is Bob Marley. And if I had to choose a more my time kind of guy, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson will be my guy. Even less songs of that guy I know. Even less. But I hope, I wish I will live long enough to see another Bob Marley arise. I want to hear another Bob Marley arise. Another Michael Jackson arise. That's a hard one. That's an artist. Yeah, there's many more. Give it your mind. That's the kind of caliber of artist I like, or what I will consider an artist. And you see why my choosing. And the funny thing is, I was so in tune since a young age with so many things that even though my main language was not English, it's not. I was born in Venezuela. I'm South American. My main language is Spanish. When you got it right, you got it right. Yes, I translated eventually the messages, but when I heard the songs, I didn't know what I was saying. No, I didn't. But something within the message, something within the frequency of the music, of the words, it resonated. It felt home. It felt comforting. That's why. Then I translated. No wonder. It was a surprise. So I was choosing. Of course, there's many more. Spanish, English, all genre, because I have a wide variety of artists and musicians I listen to. Not current ones, but I don't know many ones. At least not ones you know. They won't come out in your big screen TV. But they're good quality people. Let's invest in those. They are worth the investment. We are worth their content. Most importantly, more selfishly. Let's pour into these people. Let's pour into brothers and sisters that are actually giving out content that is nutritious for us all, not detrimental. Let's listen to program our brains with positive messages. The one that capacitates us. The ones that make us remember that we can do this shit. That we can, we're strong. We can believe in this thing. We can do this. Something with high frequency. It's not a joke, it's not funny. People still take it so lightly, and it is absolutely normal. First thing we do was we jump into the car, music. We are in automatic. A lot of us people, a lot of music. I haven't met many people don't like music. You see, that's the thing that we actually always need to do whatever if we're home cleaning, music. We're gonna cook, music. Like, there's always an excuse for music. Let's choose wisely. My invitation is please be conscious. Again, a reminder, you are worthy. Do not pollute your mind with these nasty messages that just detriment, like they're just depleting your soul, depleting your energy. Letting all these freaking entities attach to you and drain you, like leeches they are. Like, until when are you gonna keep on choosing trash over you? It's not that difficult. I promise you, once you start installing new filters, I call them filters, boundaries. Filters in your brain, you will not start liking stuff that you used to like. Because it already doesn't fit with a new version of yourself. Because yes, that jam was good and it reminds me back in the day. But then when I stop and listen to the lyrics, is that where I want to be at? Is that a good message to be listening to? If it's not really giving me something that I want or leading me where I want to be, why do I even give it my attention? It shouldn't even be in my field. We need on our fields anything that is just uplifting, that is just reminding us how powerful we are, anything that is not bringing us up, out of here. Because you're worthy. You are worthy of it. If nobody told you ever, I'm sorry it sucks, but I'm telling you now, you sister here, you are worthy. Do the work. Put the boundary. And hold it steady. And be graceful when sometimes you're like, oh, I want to listen to this one more time. It's okay. Keep on reminding everybody. We are individuals, and this process is unique. It's gonna look different for everybody. It's internal. It's within. It's individual. But just do it, because it's worth it. Because you are worth it. You are worth it. So with all that said, I can't wait to see you in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next episode.